that's a tremendous looking trophy.
Welcome to the #1 PlayStation podcast in the Oceanias. I'm Dylan Blight. Joining me today, Ashley Hobley.
Hey Dylan, how you going?
I am fantastic. How about you?
I'm great.
You don't sound so sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dark. You don't sound so sure. Yeah, I'm not.
I'm not sure.
You're not sure? What's
Is it
the
great
problem?
or good? I don't know.
What's the problem?
I don't have a problem. I just don't know.
What's the deciding factor?
Let's move on.
Great or good feeling over here. Okay.
Best
I hope
intro
you're,
yet.
I hope you're okay, Ash. Everyone hopes that you're okay. You know. Everyone just check in on Ash on Twitter. Just everyone.
Everyone's
please
so upset with me all of a sudden. I don't know.
Who is?
Dash is throwing upset about something. Apparently, Bryce wants to fight me.
Yeah,
Jaden wants me chucked out of the Explosion Network. It's crazy.
Well, you know, when you're a hot
Here
taker.
I am, all innocent, saying the truth, and
here I am, all innocent, saying the truth. I think you know what the problem is. You know, you can't go around throwing around things like keep Persona on the PlayStation.
no, I didn't say that. I said it'd be funny.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Arcade Ash went from being Arcade Ash to just Podcast Ash, I think so.
A little bit.
Hot takes to spread to all of our shows. Yeah. Everyone just be nice to Ash. Everyone just please tweet at ASHLEYHOBLEY and just be like, I understand. Hope you're feeling okay, man.
Yeah.
Just checking on him, you know?
It'll be
He's
fine.
but a child.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, let's jump into some PlayStation stuff. So, firstly, congrats again to God of War and the team at Santa Monica who continue to pick up more awards for God of War. This time they picked up some stuff from the BAFTAs, the British Film and Television Awards Society, whatever it stands for.
You put a VG in there somewhere.
Yeah,
Or
they actually do.
interactive.
They actually do, hey. Yeah. So what it picked up was audio achievement for God of War. Best game, God of War, of course. It also picked up, there's a couple obviously here somewhere, music for God of War for Bear McCreary and the rest of the people that worked on that. Narrative, Corey Barlog and the team, writers there, of course. And then also performer went to Jeremy Davies as the Stranger in God of War. Yeah.
Yeah.
So God of War continues to
surprise, kind of surprising, I guess. Jeremy Davies picking it up as the performer.
instead
Obviously,
of
everyone thinks Kratos,
Kratos.
but I guess the Stranger is more of a more interesting role or flashier role, I guess.
I would say I prefer
more showcases more emotions.
Yes.
Than Kratos.
Well, Kratos barely has any emotions, so
yeah.
A couple other ones since we're on the BAFTAs, so if we quickly go over them. Artistic achievement went to Return of Obra Dinn. That'll probably never come to PlayStation. British game is an actual award, and unsurprisingly, it went to Forza Horizon 4.
That one's not coming to PlayStation either.
No, that one's not coming to PlayStation either. Debut game went to Yoku's Island Express. That one is available. Evolving game went to Fortnite. I like that word, by the way. Evolving instead of like
ongoing
or something. Kind of evolving. I'm like, yeah, I like that. Best family game went to Nintendo Labo. So Nintendo Labo's picked up a couple awards at different shows for different reasons, which is funny because most people weren't the biggest fans of it, I guess. Game Beyond Entertainment went to My Child Lebensborn. I'm not sure what that one is. Sorry. Game Design went to Return of Obra Dinn. Game Innovation went to Nintendo Labo. Mobile Game went to Florence, Australian one, of course. And then Original Property went to Into the Breach. Probably not on PlayStation anytime soon either. And
Could come to PlayStation. I mean, that
it could.
it
I
would be
suppose.
very difficult to port. Or
Yeah.
it would translate okay.
Yeah, I guess. I just because of all the quick movements, I'm like, I can't imagine just like D-padding left, right, up, down on the thing. It's annoying. It kind of works better on the Switch because at least you got the portability, so you can like the negatives weigh out the positives, I guess. Because
I guess.
you could play it wherever you want. I wouldn't want to play Into the Breach on my PlayStation personally, but EE Mobile Game of the Year, which was voted for the public. I don't know what it means, but it says Old School RuneScape. So they were the British Film Awards. Congrats to God of War, picking up a whole bunch more of awards.
Surely that's the last awards.
You would think.
It's almost been 12 months, so
Yeah.
I don't think they'll be eligible for any more.
I can't wait till we're in October and we're still like, some site gave God of War Game of the Year for 2018. So it's like, motherfucker, we're
The Game Awards for next year.
Yeah.
The Game of the Year. God of War!
Again, somehow. Like, you'd think it would be over, but no. It's going to continue. Good job, everyone. Shout out Corley Barlock. This week...
I mean, his speech must be nailed by now. He's got
You'd
it
think
down
so. Well, I think every time he's fortunate enough to be able to point out some new things and stuff like that. Also, I'm going to make a mental note. This is one that I don't usually point these things out because I don't know if I can fix it or not. But and I don't even know if it'll be relevant on the audio. But there is fucking Mr. Whippy in the background, and if it's in the audio file, that's Mr. Whippy. I don't have like a clown or a circus in my backyard. It is Mr. Whippy. Twisted Modal confirmed.
Heard it first. No, we talked about it last episode. Now
confirmed, 100% confirmed. It's coming. Good on you, Jaffe. Thanks for announcing it in my backyard.
Subtly.
I was going to mention it, but I'm like, oh, I've got to twist the metal joke here. All right, so Blackout's new mode or map dropped. It's a combination of both. It's called Alcatraz. It's a brand new map. I say mode because the rules of the Battle Royale Blackout thing that's happening here for this certain map is different to the normal rules of the normal map.
Is it just a one-to-one recreation of the actual Alcatraz?
I don't believe so. Although, personally, haven't been there.
Well, it's just a big prison.
Haven't dropped in there either.
No.
So I'm not sure. I highly doubt it's one for one because there are some peculiar positioning of certain things that seem laid out for a game, yeah. So this is out first on PS4, so I don't know when it comes to PC or Xbox. It's just one of these, like, I think, like a month, maybe. I don't really know.
Call of Duty deal. Makes sense.
Yeah, they got that Call of Duty Activision friendship happening. So it's okay. It's not really my cup of tea for a Battle Royale map or mode. It is more in line with, I suspect, what people prefer for their Call of Duty, though, because how it works is, well, straight away, it's a lot less time for strategy and planning. When the game launches, you're not in a ship, you're not in a plane, a helicopter, any sort of thing like that. You just simply drop from the sky right above the landmark as soon as the game launches, and then you fly down and you have to figure shit out fast. So when you're in the lobby and the waiting room, you have to bring up the map, and if you want to land at a specific place and put down a marker, make sure you do that before the match starts, or else you're just going to be flying in 1,000 miles an hour and not know where the hell you are. It is quads only. You cannot play singles or duos or anything. And it is 40 players. So it's 10 teams of 4. All land on a very small map. Tiny. The smallest Battle Royale map as far as I'm aware of. And then you pretty much will die very fast because there are so many people, crowded spaces, and you'll just die. But you can respawn. I think you get, it's either 4 or 5. You get 4 or 5 respawns. So after X amount of, I don't know, 30 seconds or something like that, you'll drop back in. You can, of course, see your teammates' names on the map so you can go to where they are to help out. You will drop back in with a gun, though, so you don't have to scrounge for something every time. But you will lose your gear, of course, but you'll land with a gun at least. When the circle gets to its last point and it turns blue, and at that point it just starts constantly going inwards. From that point on, you can't respawn. So if you die just before then or in then, that's it. No respawns happening then. But because it is like this, you're gonna die. You're pretty much guaranteed to die. It feels impossible not to die, especially because you get bad luck more consistently. I feel you can just land. Someone's got a gun, you die. Oh well, you can respawn though. It just feels more Call of Duty like because it's like faster action, I guess, more hectic, less planning it out, long stretches of time and these sorts of things. And they've also incorporated the thing from Call of Duty Zombies where there are select points on the map where there'll be weapons on the wall and you can walk up to them and grab the weapon. And they rotate between different weapons, I think, every couple minutes or something, however it works, and they'll respawn and stuff like that. So it's okay. I feel like it's definitely not what I want out of a Battle Royale mode, but I feel it's still good for them to be supporting the Blackout mode, I guess, considering they put all of the DLC for Call of Duty is for zombies, and then that's kind of their thing. And then with Apex out, it does feel like that they've also announced this whole Blackout's free for a month at the moment. Also, until the end of the month, it's free to play. So they're definitely trying to get people in there. But I'm at the stage where it's like, just make it free. Just make it free. Run it off microtransactions, skins, and whatever else, and just put it out free because it definitely does feel weird. Like they're like, we've got a new mode, we've got a new map. It's free. Everyone come join, come see. And everyone's like, no, Apex. And it's nothing like Apex either. Like, so it's hard to, you're not really going to win over that audience, I feel. But if you like Call of Duty, I feel like the Alcatraz map is probably more in line with your typical deathmatch gameplay.
Yeah, it just sounds like deathmatch with some battle royale elements tucked in.
That is exactly what it is. Yeah. Pretty much what it is.
It's death mode. It's deathmatch until you get to this point in the time schedule, and then you can't. And then it's a battle royale game.
Yes, pretty much. Like it's like the only elements that really carry over is like from the outset is, of course, you got to pick up your gear and these sorts of things, I guess. But other than that, if you took that out of it, it does just feel like you drop in and it's deathmatch because you respawn. Okay. So check that out if you're interested, I guess. Interesting news this week. Well, somewhat, I guess, if you're into Persona. A few Persona interesting things this week. Persona 3 and 4 could be coming to PS4, maybe? There's a possibility. So the story comes from PushSquare. It says, Atlus is well aware of the demand for Persona 3 and Persona 4 on the PlayStation 4, according to a new interview with GNN Gamer, which was translated by Persona Central. Both games originally launched on the PS2 with the enhanced Persona 4 Golden releasing it as a PS Vita exclusive later on. Naturally, the commercial success of Persona 5 has resulted in a lot of players wanting all three games on one platform, or at least I suppose really it's a platform they can play the game on, because a lot of people could have got into Persona 5 but don't want to fucking boot up a PSP or a PS2 or a Vita to play a lot of these games. Yeah. Although Alice doesn't seem to have any plans right now, software director Naoto Hiroka does say that the company will actively discuss the possibility should the opportunity arise. What do you reckon, Ash? Would you like to get your hands on Persona 3 and 4 on your PS4? And do you think it's actually something that could happen?
Yes, I would like to get Persona 3 and 4. I know I only dabbled in them on the Vita, so I haven't played through those. But I think Persona 5 is currently at the high peak of its popularity, so it would make sense for them to maybe go back and put some of the other games out, especially after they just released the dancing game with number 3, so it makes sense. It would make sense, and then you've got these 2 other Persona 5 game spin-off whatever's coming, so it feels like Persona is definitely the top RPG at the moment, arguably JRPG.
Well, it's like I remember Final Fantasy 15 when that came out, and then like Persona was
a few months later.
And people were like
Persona. Which game are we talking about more now?
Yeah, exactly. exactly. Persona still. No one's like, where's that Final Fantasy 15 remake for my Nintendo port for my Nintendo Switch?
Yeah, why are they asking for that?
Yeah, no one cares.
Why isn't that on the Switch? They've got a freaking mobile version. Why don't you just
the mobile version
little chibi things,
isn't it?
Why don't you just port that over?
I think the mobile version thing is on the Switch. The whatever that one's called, Final Fantasy 15 chibi. I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
Whatever it's called.
This is a Nintendo Switch podcast.
Yeah, no. Just it's a Persona podcast. No, it's not.
Yeah, I think as long as they update possibly the art style and the gameplay elements to be more in line with Persona 5, then I think that'd be really cool.
I feel like you could just Golden would be the easiest because you could do some sort of texture work and stuff like that and bring that over fine. Obviously 3 would be the one that would struggle the most because then you're going from what's the highest quality version that one's had? The most recent updated version of that one was the one they did for PSP or whatever it was.
But then on the PSP version, they took out all the traversal, walking around stuff, and just made it
So they need to take some of the newer stuff they added for that, combine it back into the PS2 version, and then redo a lot of it. So Persona 3 seems like the hardest one for sure. Whereas Persona 4, I could see Golden just I don't feel like any of the gameplay stuff really needs to change. It's just some texture work. No, I'm not saying that's easy, but.
Yeah, it's just people are used to Persona 5 was such a massive hit that I think they evolved the combat system from Persona 4, so it makes sense just to tweak it a little bit to make it easier for people who jumped in at 5.
Yeah. I guess my other thing is because Persona 5 is very stylized, everything from the menus to the costumes, the cutscenes, the combat having these giant comic book-esque menus and stuff that's on the screen when you're picking what you're doing and stuff, I guess. Comparatively, Persona 4 and 3, from what I've seen, even though I haven't played 3, Persona 4, it's more just simple RPG, I guess. It's nowhere near as flashy. But then you couldn't update it to look like Persona 5 because that's not how...
It wouldn't fit, yeah.
It's thematically Persona 5. It is like that because that's where its theme lies and stuff. Yeah. So I do wonder if they ever brought Persona 4 over. A lot of people maybe that jumped into 5 and loved that would play 4 and be like, nah, this isn't for me. Whereas someone who hasn't finished 5 yet and still wants to go back and finish it, but I keep postponing it because I said at the start of the year I was going to do it, right? I'm like, this year, Persona 5, I'll go back and finish it. I'll make that my
4 months in.
Yeah, no, but the reason I haven't even bothered to think about it is because late January or something like that, all these rumors about this Persona R thing started. I'm like, and everyone's like, oh, switch. But in my mind from the get-go, it was always this is surely this is the golden version. And because if it's a golden version, then I would much prefer to wait and just play the newer version,
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So that's kind of why I'm waiting.
We'll learn soon enough about the.
Well, it pissed me off because it was late January that the rumors started, and I'm still having to wait until the end of this fucking month for them to do an official confirmation.
I mean, things have been rumored for a very, very, very long time, and still haven't been announced.
Putting me off because if it is anything like Golden, there'll be enough. It's new character, new story. There's enough there that it'll be worth me just waiting and to play the other version. But yeah, as someone who hasn't finished 5 and had to pick between either 4 or 5 now, I would say I'd like 4 more. I like the characters more in 4, but then the characters more in 4 and nothing like the characters in 5. So yeah, it just does make me wonder if people that went backwards would go, no, these characters aren't anywhere near the same. It's its theme and everything. It's Persona 5 is in Tokyo, it's Tokyo, right? It is Tokyo. I'm not fucking insane, am I?
Persona 5, yeah.
Yeah, Tokyo, yeah. I was like, is it Tokyo or is it another big city that I'm just confusing with Tokyo? But yeah, Tokyo, big city life, of course. Mm-hmm. And Persona 4 is literally the complete opposite, and it's countryside. Yeah. All right, so talking about Persona 5, though, the game has sold more than Persona 4 and Persona 4 Golden combined now. So this kind of proving the point of its popularity that we're talking about here. And PlayStation has snuck it in to its PlayStation's hits lineup, at least in the US, which I presume will transfer
Snuck it
over
in, added.
Well, they didn't announce it. It kind of just showed up one day. It was like, there it is on the store in the US. I presume they'll carry over elsewhere. The PlayStation hits lineup, of course, in US dollars means they're $20 titles constantly. $99.99.
Yeah.
That's how it works. So you don't really have an excuse not to play it at this point if you want to, because at least if you live in the US, because it's $20 at all points, and then they'll have mark it down and it'll be like $10 at some point. So this comes from Jewel Shockers. Persona 5 has been used quite a bit lately. Earlier this week, it was announced that the game had sold 2.4 million units worldwide, an impressive number given that Persona 4 sold about 2 million on PS2 and PS Vita combined. I can't believe how low that number is, like combined. And if rumors are to be believed, P5 might be coming to another console, boosting its sales once again. That is a good point to bring up because, of course, if it comes to the Switch, it just potentially doubles the sales and it could approach anywhere near 4-5 million, I suppose, all up. It's been a busy week so far for Atlus, and we haven't even made it to the April 25th stream about Persona 5S. Will that be where they announce the Switch release, or do they have something else up their sleeves? Times will tell. Yeah. Were you surprised as surprised as I was? You know how low Persona 4 is combined?
Not really. I never heard Persona 4 talked about very much except from Greg Miller. That was it.
Really?
No, yeah. I never saw it in... Well, I wasn't a big Vita person, and that's where it probably got its massive push in America, I think. So
yeah. How about how well Persona 5 selling? Does that surprise you, or does that make sense, do you think?
No, that makes sense. I mean, clearly people just happen to jump on. The word of mouth has been pretty amazing, and then, yeah. People are still making podcasts about it like 2 years afterwards.
And it'll never stop. What do you think it is about Persona 5 that, like...
I don't know. Yeah, it's just a combination of everything, the characters and the storylines and the combat. Yeah. I feel like it just clicked better with a lot of people.
I'll try to figure out, like, was there a marketing thing there? Was it the fact that there isn't so many RPGs now? Was it because, like... people have PS4s, they're looking for RPGs, they don't have many choices anymore. They're like, oh,
yeah,
I think that Persona thing I go.
I can't think of any, like, a JRPG turn-based sort of game off the top of my head, other than Persona.
They release some, like Bandai puts out a lot, I feel, like RPG type games. A lot of them based on animes that you've probably never heard of and these sorts of things. But I don't really ever see those in EB Games, for example. And if I do, it's like one random pre-owned copy is the thing. Whereas I see a lot of Persona, and I always saw a lot of Persona since the day it dropped. So, yeah, I feel like a lot of worked out, just hit the marketplace a lot better, resonated with people a lot more, released at a good time. So that's good.
They created all that buzz by saying you couldn't stream past a certain point.
Yeah, and everyone talked about it.
Turns out
podcasts.
Any press is good press.
That's true. That is true. Don't say anything bad though, Ash. Just
no.
Don't get us in trouble. All right. Find out more about Persona at the end of the month, of course. If Persona Royal is hopefully, as I'm presuming it is, a like golden type thing, then I'll be intrigued to hear
DLC.
about that.
Game-changing DLC.
I'm okay if it's DLC. I'm okay if it's a complete new thing, depending on how much you is in it. You know what I mean? Like, if it's a $20 DLC, new character, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, cool. I'll pay $20 and I'll start from a new game so I can experience the content the way it works. If they're like, no, it's a brand new game, you've got to buy it, or you can... Yeah, no, fuck it. If they're like, it's a brand new game and you got to buy it, but the reason it's brand new is because there is so much... It just depends on how many changes and stuff there is, I guess. That's where you really have to wait and see. So I guess we'll be talking about that at some point in the future, of course, and Persona S if you care about it, which I 100% presuming just stands for Switch. Okay, so someone did some crazy Inception level shit that is kind of blew my mind. So someone has created Now, everyone pay very close attention to what I'm about to say. Someone created Super Mario Maker in Little Big Planet 3. So what they did is in Little Big Planet 3, created Super Mario Maker's mechanics, and then using the mechanics of Super Mario Maker inside Little Big Planet 3, then recreated Mario Brothers. Which just kind of blew my mind because I'm like, holy shit, when Dreams comes out, someone can recreate Little Big Planet 3. And then in that, they can recreate Super Mario Maker 2. And then in that, they can recreate Mario Brothers.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's a video that's up on this person's channel. The channel's AYEE, link in the description, of course. They didn't create the level, they simply shared it. Their channel looks like they share a lot of stuff because like they credit it nicely. So the levels, it says level and then creator. The creator's name is Claptrap9, who found the video and has been commenting and replying to people's comments, asking in questions and stuff about it. And looking for it, I mean, it looks exactly, apart from where it says R1 change theme, R2 change things down the bottom, but it looks exactly like Super Mario Maker. 90-something% there for sure, apart from a couple things that give away its little
as best as they could do, I imagine. Yeah,
as best as you could do for sure. And then the level, watching them recreate the level and put down the blocks, that all looks really good. The part that kind of gives away that it's Little Big Planet is when they actually go to play the level and you see how floaty Mario is because it's Little Big Planet. That's kind of the point where it's like, yeah, this definitely isn't Mario, because you can tell it's Little Big Planet at that point. But yeah, it's kind of crazy that years on and so close to Dreams' not release, but
early access
thing coming out very soon.
Only a week.
Yeah, only a week. That people are still over in Media Molecule's last creator game, Little Big Planet 3, and they're
making games from other systems. That's what they're doing.
Still making shit over there. It's kind of crazy because I suppose you kind of live in your own bubble to a point where you're like, people would have stopped playing that surely. Like, why would people still mucking around over there? And they are. People still mucking around over there. It's kind of crazy. I was going to say, I said that they made it, but I'm like, I don't think they actually did. So I was trying to find who did make it. Hold on. They worked on it, but I don't think they did they weren't actually the main developer. Little Big Planet 3 was done by Sumo Digital before somebody else and me on the internet. Bob. There you go. The answer to that question.
Yeah.
Sometimes you say something and then you're like, that's wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
That's wrong. And you catch yourself out and you fix it so the internet doesn't come for you. Much like last week when I got a message from Buddy Watson and I could just simply see the preview message said the word bend in it. And I'm like, oh shit, here we go. So, and then I opened it and it says Sony Bend in the name of the developer. In case you don't know, Sony owns the developer Bend. There you go.
It was just a coincidence that they called themselves Sony Bend.
Sony Bend, yeah.
And then, fortunately, they got bought out. So there's your solution. If you want to start your own company and get bought by Sony, put Sony in the title.
Yep. Yeah, it works out quite well. But also, Little Big Planet 3, when Media Molecule helped out on the game, but was definitely developed by Sumo Digital. And if you're like, Sumo Digital, what have they put out recently? It was Crackdown 3. You read my review on ExplosionNetwork.com. It's on Xbox. It's probably not as good as Little Big Planet 3 is all I'm going to say. But yeah, I'm keen being for this Dreams thing, I tell you what. Even more so now for the fact that I'm like, holy shit. Imagine the stuff that people are going to make, right? First week.
Yep.
And we'll be like, this is crazy. But then we'll come back in like 5 years' time and we'll be able to go,
it's going to be crazy. Someone is going to make Sekiro with accessibility options.
Oh my God, you've just... What they say about not causing any ruckus today, Ash? Had to bring up fucking Sekiro.
Well, if people want it, they can make it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and you know what? I talk some hot shit. Maybe I'll just stand on my hill and be like, you know what? I'll do it. I'll go over here. Maybe I won't do it. Maybe I'll be the producer. I'll gather the best dreams makers and people, and I'll bring them all together like the Avengers. I'm Nick Fury, and I'll create a team to create Sekiro with accessibility options.
Sure.
I'm Nick Fury. Obviously the original one, not the one that we've got now, because
the white Nick Fury?
The white Nick Fury. That was the joke. Yeah, that was the joke. All right, let's. I got a couple things that came out after that whole state of play thing the other week, of course, and we had some questions about some of the games, particularly Iron Man and stuff, and a bunch of people got to play them over in San Francisco or wherever Sony held the event. I can't remember, and I've heard people.
Our invitation got lost in the mail, I guess.
Yeah, our invitation got lost in the mail once again. I really need to contact Sony and update those address details, because I want to play Iron Man VR ahead of time because stuff. They're like, they play back that clip right then, and they're like, that's the reason you don't get sent stuff. So a lot of people write about stuff, but I've grabbed a bunch of articles by Shannon Grexy over at Press Start here to with his preview impressions. He got to fly over there. Oh yeah, maybe we need to get Explosion Network brought out by Southern Austria or whatever the fucking company's name is. He wrote up some preview impressions about all these VR games that answered some of the questions, or should answer some of the questions that we've had about stuff. So I'm just going to read a little bit of his one about Iron Man to start off with here. Select a place here. It says the PlayStation Move controllers do a great job of replicating Iron Man's thruster's hands. Putting the move controllers horizontally will basically keep you afloat, whilst pointing the move bulb to the ground will put you full speed ahead, or putting it to the ceiling will bring you to a stop. You'll basically move in a direction that you're facing, which pretty much means a full 360 experience. Next part of the demo will teach you how to shoot, which is when you really start to feel like Iron Man. Shooting works as you'd expect. A reticle shows up on the screen, and you get about 5 to 6 shots before each hand overheats. It's the next part of the tutorial that really brings it all together. Putting thrusting and shooting together feels like absolute magic. I know it sounds simple, but being able to thrust and keep yourself afloat with one hand while shooting with the other is a really natural experience. You're able to alternate hands as well, which makes it a really immersive experience. I was told that the game would be an 8 to 10 hour experience. So I feel like that section there kind of covers a lot of the questions and stuff we had about it, which was, is it a non-rails thing?
Apparently not.
You have full control of where you can go, of course, within
reason.
Within reason, but it's not on rails, and you're just simply moving your hands left, right, and shooting.
You're not getting moved from point to point to point.
Yeah, you move yourself. So that answers that, and then also, like content wise, was like, is this going to be like the other Marvel stuff where it was a shoe-in, crappy tie-in type thing? No, apparently they say he's been told 8 to 10 hours. Let's bring the number down because you always should. Let's say it's somewhere between 4 to 6, presumably. But either way, a lot longer than we'd presume. It's a fully fledged title from them. And I read somewhere else, I can't remember if it was here or another article actually, but that Camouflage had been working on this for 2 years at this point. So interesting. What do you make of all this? Are you more keen?
Yeah, I am more keen. I think it sounds like a full game, not just an
experience in quotation marks.
Experience. I think we saw like some of the descriptions and stuff will include other Marvel characters showing up, and there's going to be a story. So
yes,
yeah, that increases my hype a little bit. So yeah, sounds good.
I've seen a lot of people like kind of saying it'll be the Iron Man to the Batman Arkham thing, I guess.
Yeah.
To a point. It really will hopefully make you feel like Iron Man, and all the stuff I've read about it so far, people have all said that all praised how good it feels when it finally clicks for you, because of course that takes, 10, 15, whatever minutes for your brain to finally click. But when it does click and you're like kind of naturally just moving one hand to hover yourself while shooting and then like thrusting backwards and you know what I mean? Like just kind of you've got that all under packed. That sounds cool to just be able to do that stuff like Iron Man that does, because he puts his, you think about it in the movie, I suppose. I never really think about it much, but he does put his hands down and it's like that, come to a stop and whatever else. But in my mind, I was just thinking Iron Man, his boots control him all, but no, it is the arms, isn't it?
Hands have to have.
Your hands go backwards when he flies up and stuff. So yeah, I'd never really thought much about it, I guess. So yeah, I'm more keen for that for sure. I would have played it if it was an on-rails thing anyway, just because I would have been like, oh, it's Iron Man. Let's see how it goes. But since it's a full 360 thing, way more intrigued for sure. So there's another thing up about No Man's Skies VR mode. And in this, basically covers that there's control schemes that'll make hopefully cover the sickness that you could get if you're not used to like free movement and stuff, but because they've apparently added another one where you can like looking a certain direction and then hold a button or whatever to like walk there, so it kind of like stabilizes you a bit, I guess, to help with the motion sickness somewhat. But you're going to be able to walk around the whole place and a whole bunch of other things. So it says, using 2 move controls, I was able to move by easily selecting pinpoints around my starting planet. Hello Games has also incorporated a clever feature where you hold down to select your next moving point, but then you can twist your hand in order to choose your viewpoint. So if you want to move to the side of a mountain and be looking to your left, you can do that one button press rather than it forcing you to move and then change your looking direction, which is often the part that causes people to get sick, I feel, when they're like twisting and moving at the same time. It says, No Man's Sky might be the most intricate, oh my fucking god, words, controlled game on the PSVR. To go into different menus, you hold the gun up to your eye view and then essentially can tap to access your other tools and weapons. It felt incredibly intuitive and worked very well. It says all the mining and stuff is as you'd kind of expect, but then go down a paragraph. It says, it's when I got to my spaceship that I realized just how much work had been done to make this game run seamlessly in VR. Not only can you look around whilst you're in the spaceship, you fully control both your throttle and steering wheel with each hand using the PlayStation Move controller. It's pretty darn cool to be able to steer a spaceship out of a planet and into hyperspace and have your movements reflected right in front of you. It might sound silly, but it's one of the experiences that it's a good experience is what he says. So No Man's Sky. Any of that more keen? Does it sound like what you expected? Or
yeah, it sounds like they've obviously put a lot of love and care into like making sure the controls are like seamless and that sort of thing and work well. Do we know if this is coming to Oculus or Vive as well? Is it across the board?
Would fully expect at some stage, but I don't know if anything's been confirmed.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm keen to check it out. Obviously, I've still got No Man's Sky sitting around somewhere, so it's a free update.
And I just need to rock into EV Games and start piling through their pre-owned section at some point. And
yeah, I'm sure they've got a bunch.
I'm sure they do.
Probably still got a bunch.
Maybe I'll find mine.
Yeah. Well, they got that buy 2 get 1 free sale at the moment. So.
Oh yeah, I should go in soon. Actually,
plug.
There you go. It's the one steelbook I ever traded in. I didn't like that game so much. That's how much I disliked No Man's Sky when it came out. I pre-ordered it and everything. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Everybody me and fucking everyone else. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's too crazy thing to say for sure. Okay, so then they got another piece up covering some Blood and Truth stuff where they actually got to play a better section of the game instead of what you got to play at PAX, where you was just doing a fucking, what sounds to me every time you've talked about it, a shooting range type thing. It doesn't sound like it was really a good way to demo the game. Skipping down the article, it says you can basically go from cover to cover point using the PlayStation Move controller. You can also move side to side using the X and circle buttons on the Move controller. So we was wondering like how on rails, I guess, it would be Blunt Truth, and it seems like it's on rails ish. So you're obviously going to have moments where it's like cutscene-esque, but of course your character's just running and you can look around and whatever else that you'd expect, action movie stuff. But then when you're at certain points, you're like stuck behind one cover point, you'll be able to move somewhat, and then other points you'll be able to use X and circle to kind of strafe. So little bit of movement, but not full 360 movement around the game. It says it definitely feels like a different game to the London heist in these moments, and I'm not sure if I love these specific parts as much as the massive set pieces where you're stuck in one spot taking out enemies, but they're still fun to play through and require a decent amount of accuracy using the gun sights. As with the London heist, the shooting mechanics still feels phenomenal and is one of the best experiences you can have in VR. Down here further, here we go. There's some pretty clever things being done with the PlayStation Move controllers. For instance, reloading is still done by putting your left Move controller up to the bottom of your right hand, although it feels much smoother than it did in London Heist. You also essentially pull out your pistol by putting your PlayStation Move controller to your hip, or grab your assault rifle by reaching over the back of your shoulder. So there's more realistic movements that work well on screen and add to the immersion. So there's also talks about picking locks and stuff and doors here. But yeah, from what I can gather, there's at any point in the game, if you need like put your gun away or grab one of your guns, you can kind of reach over to your back, and that's where your assault rifle is going to hit, or whatever gun you have at that point. And then your pistol you can just put in your pocket. But then I think I was trying to look this up, and from what I could find out, apparently, because I was confused at first, because I'm like, well, if you have both guns out, how do you reload? Because you manually reload. But then I suppose if you pull both guns out and you empty the clips of both, then you'll have to quickly put your assault rifle onto your back and then use that hand to reload your pistol again.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's basically...
I'm not sure if you can have both guns out at the same time.
You don't reckon?
No.
From
what I recall of doing the demo, I'm pretty sure it was only one gun at a time.
I kind of hope they do let you have both guns, because then it does force you into a position of like, you empty them and then you're like, oh fuck. Then you have to like quickly put one away. And it's kind of realistic. Well, as realistic as a game that's this obviously silly and action movie-esque inspired is going to be, I guess. But yeah, I kind of like it. They said it's like most of what they got to play was these, big action set pieces, and they were saying it is just like heavily inspired by John Wick and these sorts of things. So
yeah. That's what you want to hear.
That's
biggest VR game of the year.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah. Are you still sticking by that, or?
Yeah, I'm still sticking by that.
Biggest?
They just need to cut an Uncharted like trailer and then bam.
Biggest VR game of the year. Everybody's Golf's coming out there.
Yeah.
The hill I'll die on.
I don't know. I feel like this is going to be the big, and it's done by PlayStation, so
confirmed it's good. It's done by PlayStation.
Well, their first party stuff's been all great so far. So
yeah, okay. I expect it to be good. I hope it's good. I just don't think it'll be the biggest one of the year. But on the Everybody's Golf thing, Press Start had a quick paragraph about it, so I didn't really put it down as a thing, but. It pretty much just sounded like what I want to hear, because it was like, hey, you put on the thing and then all of a sudden you're at a golf, and they said it reminded them of playing Wii Sports, but you're in VR. And I'm like, yep, that's...
So you've got to look at meters and stuff, or is it your swing's going to be what they fix the ball? I don't know. They didn't elaborate.
Combination, I think.
I guess.
It's like, because it's not like a hardcore sim golf game, so...
That's true.
It's more arcadey and fun, so and the reference point of Wii Sports is what I want, because I just want it to be. Wii Sports was your swing, your power, I guess.
Yeah, there was meters and stuff. So.
Chuck your Wiimote through the screen, through your TV screen. So might chuck my Move controller through my screen. See how that goes.
Yeah.
Don't say yeah. Say no, Dylan. Don't do that.
No. Wear those wrist straps.
I do when I'm playing Beat Saber, that's for sure. I said last thing for VR stuff to cover here is we got some information via the PlayStation blog about concrete Genies, 2 PlayStation VR modes that they kind of just brushed over during the thing. And they're like, hey, it's going to have VR modes. It's like, okay, what are they? What do you mean VR modes? Is it the whole game? No, it's not the whole game. Okay. So on the PlayStation blog, it says, And this is written by Jeff Brown, who's
just to be clear, you can still play the full game in VR. I think. No.
I love that sentence that you just said and everything about it. Just to be clear, you can play the full game in VR. Wait, I don't know.
No, I misread the sentence.
Just to be clear.
We are working hard on 2 very special VR modes included alongside the core PS4 game at launch.
Yes. Just to be clear. ExplosionNetworks.com. Just to be clear.
Just to be clear, it's unclear.
Wait, I'm not sure. It's not good. Okay, so yeah, this is written by Jeff Brown, the creative director at San Mateo Studio. Yeah. Doing Concrete Genie. It says, when our art director Dave Smith and I first sat down with Dom to have a look at what he and Pixel Opus had created, we knew immediately that this world and its magic could provide some incredible inspiration for a PSVR experience. We wondered, amongst the beautiful art and storytelling of Concrete Genie, what it might feel like to get to know a genie one-on-one. Where would we go? What kind of things would we do together? In our first PSVR mode, VR experience, that is a weird sentence to say. In our first PSVR mode, VR experience, you'll follow a curious genie named Splotch beneath Denska's ominous lighthouse on a quest to unlock a mysterious power while you use your living paint in a completely new way. I don't want to give too much away, but what we came up with is pretty special. We can't wait for you to try it yourself. So the first VR mode is a spin-off story type thing.
Yep.
Basically. So that's cool. I don't know how long it'll be, but it sounds cool. Sounds intriguing. I'm down for it. Going on a little adventure with my friend Splotch. I'm ready for it. Sounds exciting. And this then continues. But that's not all. While looking at other possible PSVR modes for the game, everybody had a simple, common desire to stand in one of Denska's alleyways, paintbrush in hand, using living paint to bring our surroundings to life. A completely immersive first-person painting experience. This was the springboard for building our first prototype, what would become a Concrete Genie PSVR free paint mode, an immediate favorite around the office. You'll have to choose between 4 unique Denska locations where you can play and experiment with old living paint and Genie creation brushes you collect during your Concrete Genie adventures, all with the intuitiveness that the two PlayStation Move controllers provide. They don't provide any intuitiveness. This article is full of fucking shit. It says, though, there's a million and one asterisks on this paragraph. The first one is simply to tell you that children under the age of 12 shouldn't use this. Yeah, Nintendo. The second one says players must complete VR experience in order to unlock VR paint mode. So you have to complete the other one first to be able to do this. That's an interesting choice. And then, of course, it says 2 PSVR mode things required. How do you feel? You down for these? What do you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, more content is never a bad thing, I don't think so.
So what they said about us.
And I'm looking forward to playing the whole game in VR.
Fucking hell. You heard it here first. Just to clarify.
I'm sure that's what they said in the state of play thing.
I just want to clarify for those confused. This is not confused. And in fact, I'll go so far as to say it's not a thing. I'm down. I like the look of this game. I like the look of it. The normal game, pretty. Obviously, we talked about that state of play thing. Yes, Concrete Genie, give it to me. A first-person adventure with my little friend Splotch. Yes, yep. I'm down for that too. That sounds exciting.
And then you get to graffiti a city.
That's the part I'm least interested in, to be honest. Although
I'm sure it'll be relaxing.
Yeah, I'm maybe I say that now, but then because you unlock it after you finish the other mode, so I'll probably finish that adventure. It'll say unlocked. Maybe I'll jump into it and maybe I'll enjoy it. We'll see. But from the outset, I'm like, I'm not going to put my PSVR headset in to do some. I can't paint. Look at me. Listen to me. You people, you listen to the show for 105 episodes now. Do I sound like someone who can paint? No. That's a weird thing also. Who sounds like they can paint?
Do I sound like I'm a person who can paint?
Yeah. Listen to me. Really listen to this voice. Do I sound like someone who can paint? Damn you. No, I didn't think so. All right. Well, that's it for this week's episode of Platinum Explosion, number one Paint Theory podcast on the Explosion Network. You can follow me on Twitter at Vivaldil, VIVALADIL. You can follow Ash
on Twitter at Ashley Hobley, ASHLEYHOBLEY. It's a thing. VR for Concrete Genie completely.
Oh, fucking hell. Can everyone just remember to tweet at Ash and firstly say, are you okay? I hope you're okay, man. Much love. But then follow that up. Follow that up and correct him about Concrete Genie, for the love of God. You can follow this show on Twitter at Platt Podcast. Don't forget to rate the show on Apple Podcasts, of course, if you can. If not, I wouldn't really blame you after the nonsense that was spouted this episode about certain things.
But
maybe next week's episode you'll feel like giving it a rating. That's okay. You can join our Discord, talk about games, ask for trophy tips, send in questions, and tell Ash he's wrong about Concrete Genie over at explosionnetwork.com/Discord. This is, of course, a product of the Explosion Network, of which you can find many more shows, articles, news, reviews, and things at explosionnetwork.com. And you can go over to Twitter and follow Explosion Network there at Explosion Pod. Until next week, Concrete Genie. Yes? What?
Yeah.
Concrete Genie?
Yeah, that's what actually Persona S is. It's Concrete Genie. I don't know.
It's a brave choice.
Persona S is a free paint mode.
In VR.
Yeah.
Someone will not be happy about that.
A few people, yeah.
Every Saturday, listen to a brand new episode of Arcade Couch, the Explosion Network's variety video game podcast. Sit back, relax on the best couch to chill with your friends and hear about the latest industry news, as well as our opinions on the latest releases and what we've been playing. Just search your podcasting app for Arcade Couch and subscribe for free now. Like now. Do it.